剣と魔法と学園もの 2G 新学期だよ全員集合
Hello, this is Dr. J here with Let's Play Class of Heroes 2G Remaster Edition with a hilariously upbeat and peppy J-pop opening song that I do not remember from when I played this game when it first came out many years ago. Maybe I just forgot about it. Maybe when it was originally released in the US it didn't actually have that opening, and now it's back for the remaster. I'm not actually sure, because I haven't played this game in forever. So there's a lot of things I've forgotten. I am playing this right after having completed the remaster of the first game. Now, having said that, depending on how my upload schedule works out, I might actually start posting this concurrently with my playthrough of the first game. But oh no, that's not... Okay, I get... yes, thanks. I guess I should have pressed a button. Depending on how my upload schedule works out, I might end up posting this concurrently with my playthrough of the first game, but I did complete the first game before I started playing this one. Okay, save mode, we'll definitely leave it normal rather than Maniac. We'll adjust the volume as we go. It looks like it's probably okay for now. But if the volume is really bad, the sound balance is really bad in the first video, I'll fix it as I go. Okay, it sounds like the sound effects are way too loud. Anyway, hi, human girl. So we actually get voice acting for this one, unlike in the first game. I didn't remember that either. I suspect that we didn't have any of this in the first release of this game back in the day, so I guess this is new. Nice to meet you, Olive. You sound very upbeat and peppy, just like the J-pop opening, Olive. I wonder if I can adjust the volume from here. It does not look like I can. I guess I'll just temporarily turn it down in my recording software. Okay, so his name's pronounced Vasharin? I would have said Vakarin, so it was useful hearing him pronounce it.
迷宮を探索する冒険者の育成を目的として作られた冒険に
You take too long to talk, dude.
じゃがここで学ぶすべての経験が諸君らの未来を照らす光となるじゃろう。いつの日か一人前の立派な冒険者になることを目指して。
I am 99.9% sure there was no voice acting when I played this way back in the day, so they must have restored this for the remaster. That's pretty neat.
と言いたいところじゃが、まずは各自職員室で入学手続きを済ませるように。手続きが終了したらホームルームがあるんでの。指定された教室に行くんじゃぞ。さあ、学園生活の始まりじゃぞい。
He talks like such an old man. I am not really fluent in Japanese, but I know it reasonably well, and I know old man speak when I hear it. That is so much old man speak. Alright, so time to build our party. I did a lot of work ahead of time to try to make this experience go smoothly. Now, we are sometimes going to have to do rerolls until we have a good amount of build points. I think that 17 should be enough for my first character. This is going to be a male human. Oh, by the way, as long as we're at it, let's cycle through the different races to see all their art. There's a lot of races in this game. It's the exact same set of races as the first. They did not add or remove any. Alright, and now we have to assign our points. So, our male human here is going to begin life as a fighter, but I want the possibility of class changing him into a samurai in the future. So I'm going to actually have him meet the class requirements for samurai, even though that's not what I'm going to make him right away. Although maybe I will. I mean, there's nothing stopping me, so maybe I will make him a samurai. Okay, so I think he also needs, let's see, he needs, hold on, a 9 luck. I was looking at the wrong thing. An 11 agility, a 12 vitality, a faith of 9, a wisdom of 13. Okay, samurai has been changed to swordsman. That's interesting. By the way, you might notice that the set of classes available in this game is vastly different from the first. Vastly different. It's not quite as flagrantly wizardry inspired. So we no longer have the stupidly named Lord, which should have been called Paladin, and the Valkyrie. They're gone. We still have the Samurai, though it's being called Swordsman here. We no longer have the Bishop, which also had a stupid name. Basically, but in the previous game there was like Cleric, which I think was called Priest, Wizard or Sorcerer, and then a Bishop. In this game, those kind of all just got collapsed into the same class, which is just the Mage. The Mage is a lot like the Bishop from the first game, in that it gets both healing and black magic, both black and white magic. But anyway, yeah, why not make him a samurai from the start if we can? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that then. Although, oh my god. Did I really just... Okay, we got more BP anyway. Do not hit B from that screen, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do it. Sorry. Sorry for the derpage. I think I changed my mind that I'm going to make him a warrior after all, but I am going to still have him be able to meet the class requirements for a samurai. Just in case I do want to class change him later. Okay, so we need 12, 13... 9, 12, 11. Okay, we meet it, but I'm just going to put all these remaining points into Strength and Vitality. But we're actually going to make him a fighter to start. And his name is going to be Wheeler. Oh, do we not have the 6-character limit like we did in the first game? That's pretty awesome. Let's see, how do we cap things again? Capitalize them? Well, like that. That works. Wheeler. There we go. Oh, we do have a 6-character limit after all. Okay, fine. That's okay. I can adapt to this. His name is still Wheeler. There we go. Okay, there we go. A little awkward. We did it. Okay, welcome to the Team Wheeler, our first character. Next up. Let's go until we... I think that might have been enough BP, but let's go for a little higher. 23, beautiful. Alright, this is going to be a female human. Let's go ahead and look at the base art for all the female races. I like the look on the Felper girl. She looks like she's a handful. The Celestian looks very friendly. And other things that will be left unsaid. Alright, let's see. We'll make her good. And I might want to class change her into a class that's not even available at the start of the game. She's also going to begin life as a warrior, but we're going to give her stats to meet the requirements for another class later that, like I said, isn't even available yet. Will become available later. And that should meet the requirements for the class I want her to become later. It's not Ranger, by the way. And her remaining points we'll put into... And then maybe a little more agility. And then another luck. And then another vitality. Or maybe even another strength. Okay, I think that'll do. She will also begin life as a fighter. I like the female human fighter art. I think it's cute. And she shall be... Candy. Welcome to the team, Candy. Alright, next up, we shall have a male dwarf who does not really look anything like a dwarf to me, but dwarf it is. 16 BP, I think just barely meets our requirements for what class I want to make him, because I do want him to start life as a samurai. He needs 12, 13, 9 he already meets. Okay, and we can't reduce it below its base. 12, 11, and 9. Okay, I calculated it correctly, and we did have exactly the BP we need. I'll take it. I like the dwarf samurai art. And he shall be... Okay, so we do have a 6-character limit again. So I was going to call him Grumble, but we don't have enough characters for that, so instead, he's going to be Grumb. I had backup plans for every character's name in case we still had a 6-character limit. Just like the first game. Excellent. Alright, next character. Barely needs any BP to meet the next class requirement, but I'm at least going to go till we get double digits. 15, good enough. She's going to be a female Celestian. And she is going to be a mage. Which is, like I said, basically the bishop of this game, because they get both white and black magic. So let's pour lots of stats into those two, or lots of points into those two stats. And then a lot of vitality for hit points. Alright, I think that's probably good. I really like the female Celestian mage art. That's another one that I think is very cute. I composed my team with a combination of wanting a team that will be effective and a team that I just like aesthetically, which is basically what I always do in RPGs, where I can make my own characters. I don't go purely for just optimized builds. I go partly for optimized builds and partly for characters I just like. Now, She was going to be Serafina, but we don't have enough characters for that. So she's just going to be Seraphi. We don't need the NA at the end there. Yep, no room for that. Seraphi is fine. Welcome to the team, Seraphi. She sounds so courteous. And next up, 8 BP is actually enough. We don't need a lot for this next build either. But again, I'll go for double digits. All right, 15, good enough. It's going to be a female gnome. You might notice that I am making characters with a lot of different races from my team in the first game. That is deliberate for variety. So anybody who watches both playthroughs can see a team with a fairly different racial composition for this one. She will be neutral. Which I don't know if that's required for her major or not. I don't remember, to be honest. All right. And she is going to need a Wisdom of 12, which she already meets, and a Luck. Oh, no, I'm sorry. She doesn't need Wisdom at all. I was looking at the wrong thing again. She needs Agi of 10 and Wisdom of 12. Or Luck of 12. There we go. Okay, there we go. She now meets the requirements to be a ranger, which is what she's going to be. Let's see. I also want her to not be completely made of paper and completely incapable of hitting enemies. So in addition to the agility and luck requirements, we'll give her some strength and vitality. There we go. I picked that one both because I wanted a good thief-type class in the party, which the ranger is, and because, once again, that's one of the pictures that the character art that I think is very cute. So welcome to the team. Aisha. These names don't come from anywhere, if you're wondering. They are not a reference to anything. One more to go. And this one, you may remember I made if you watched my other playthrough of the first game, a Scion so that I could get Magic Wall, which in the late game started becoming kind of useless because everything penetrated it, but for a good chunk of the game was really overpowered. I think that's true of this game as well, hence I'm going to make a class that has Magic Wall in this one as well. And it's not Scion because there is no Scion in this one. And I think I'm going to want a ton of BP for this one, not for the initial requirement, but because I might consider class changing this character into something that is going to need a lot of BP. Okay, I think 19 is sufficient. This one's going to be a female Diabolos, another race that we didn't use in the first game. Going to be another neutral character. Alright, and I'm going to make sure that she meets the class requirements for both her starting class and the one I might change her into later, which is another class that's not available at the beginning of the game. And it needs 15 in luck, and 17 in faith, I think, and a couple more points in wisdom. And she already meets her starting class requirement, which is Puppeteer. I will say that the default female Diabolos art is not very appealing. However, I like the mage, and I really like the Puppeteer version. The Puppeteer version is adorable. Welcome to the team, Sherry. And that is going to be our team. We also could have used the pre-gen team, which is Jim, KG, Nick, Anya, and Yachio. So that looks like a samurai, a ninja, a dwarf samurai, a human ninja, a Bahamut idol, a female Diabolos puppeteer, just like we actually have, a fairy mage, and a halfling ranger. But oh no,
私のクラスはうっそマジで
I
ありえない
I didn't mean to do that. I think I just selected the default starting team. That's fine. I can change to my custom team once we're able to get to the office. But don't hit B on that screen either if you don't want that to be your team.
担任があのダンテ先生だなんて憂鬱だな
You sure sound like a Japanese schoolgirl, Olive.
そう君たちまた会ったね君たちのクラスはあ私と一緒だね
How about that?
さあ気を取り直して教室に行きましょうあれコッパにルオーテ偶然だねあんたらと同じクラスなんだ
そうみてえだな。
おいらパーネ先生って人のクラスが良かったよ。
This is quite the squad here.
あ私この二人と地元が一緒でさ結構長い付き合いなんだよねこの目つきの悪いのがルオーテでちっちゃいケムクゼラがコッパ
We know about dwarves, Olive. We live in this world. You don't need to call all dwarves tiny fuzzy guys. Also, creepy look at his eyes.
お前な、人が気にしていることをズケズケと。
Poor Ruote.
ケムクジャラ言うな。
ほら、席につけお前ら。ホームルームを始める。
So this is our homeroom teacher. I get the feeling that personality-wise, he's not too different from Miss Yuno from the first game. There are other differences, though. I will leave it as an exercise for the viewer to point out those other differences.
俺がこのクラスの担任、ダンテだ。早速だが、クラス委員長を決めたいと思う。オリーブ、お前やれ。
まだ立候補も取ってないのにいきなり指名って私できません図書委員の仕事だってあるし
うるさい。異議は認めん。いいか。お前ら、学生だと思って舐めてんじゃねえぞ。冒険と死は隣り合わせだ。他のクラスは知らねえが、俺のクラスになったからには、軍隊に入ったと思って気を引き締めろ。よって、俺の発言には絶対に服従だ。
So this guy thinks he's a drill sergeant.
よし。じゃあ早速、はじめの森の通行許可を出しておく。出てくるモンスターはさほど強くはないが、油断は禁物だぞ。自信のない生徒は図書室に行き、学園案内のクエストをまず受けてみろ。各自精進せよ。いいな。
Wow, that was quite the scream, Olive.
ダンテ先生か。噂は耳にしてたが、ありゃひどいな。
I think I like Ruote.
おいら怖いよ。あの先生がこれから1年間おいらたちの担任なのか。
私ってば入学する前からあいつに目をつけられてたんだよね
What do you mean by that, Olive?
まだ入ってもないくせに遊んでんじゃねえとかでもまさかクラスの担任になるなんてなんであいつに私たちのバラ色学園生活を脅かされなきゃいけないわけ
He just made you the class rep, Olive. I think you're overreacting a bit.
あんなやつが担任なんてありえない今に見てろよ
Thus, our school life has begun. See the tutorial. I'm going to skip it. I'm going to assume that I know what I'm doing, having played the first game. This may be a mistake. Again, I did play this game before too and cleared it, but it was been so long I've forgotten much. Before that, I'm going to go to the office and get my team, because I have nothing against the pre-gen team. It looks like good fun, but I want to use my custom team. Wheeler, Candy, Grum. You may notice that I have a better front line that I did in the first game. That's because I can meet my backline requirements that I wanted, / spellcasting requirements with fewer characters with this class selection. Alright, and now the backliners. Seraphi, Aisha, Sherry. Look at that team. We are ready to save the world. I mean, right now we're just a bunch of school students. but we are going to save the world, obviously. Let's go ahead and make a save so we don't have to make our characters over again. And, okay. Now let's edit the music because it seems really flippin' loud. Looks like unlike the first game, I don't have the option of setting background music for different things. Okay, now I should be able to increase the volume in my recording software so that it's in sync with other things I record. Let's try this for now. I'll muck around with it if the audio balance still seems off, but that should be okay, I think. All right, we were supposed to go to the library. Orientation, 1 star. You'll notice we are at a different academy than we were in the first game. Instead of Particus, or Mashlenia, or Ranslate, we are at Crostini.
よっ、お疲れ。学園案内だね。
Still seems kinda loud, but that's probably fine.
私、図書委員なんで、私が君たちにこの学園の案内をします。
I think Olive is just kinda loud.
というわけでまずはここ図書室からね。最初にここの説明をするのには理由があって、この学園の単位は依頼であるクエストを達成して初めて取得することができるの。
I like the little sword on her belt. It looks more adorable than threatening. Do you really know how to use that thing, Olive?
単位が増えれば新しい場所にも行けるようになるし、冒険の幅も広がるわ。つまり私たち生徒はどんどんクエストをこなさなくちゃ先へ進むことができないってわけで、そのクエストはここ図書室の掲示板から受けることができるの。冒険に行く前は必ず図書室でクエストをチェックすること。これ覚えておいて損はないよ。
Okay.
それじゃあ次は職員室を案内するね。はい、ここが職員室だよ。入学手続きや転科手続きがここでできるの。あ、パーネ先生だ。
あら、おはようリーブさん。あなたたちは初めましてね。
So Pane, you look like basically the metaphysical opposite of Dante Sensei, which makes me suspect that you're secretly pure evil. I don't know if that means I'm cynical or what.
おはようございます。この子たちは私のクラスメート。今学園内を案内してるとこなんです。
I think I would describe Pane Sensei as fua fua.
ああ、この人はパーネ先生。私たちの隣のクラスの担任で怪獣の研究をしてるスペシャリストなの。
Uncursing, you say.
皆さん、よろしくね。
じゃあ私たち次は購買部に行きますね。
はい、またね。
Bye, Pane Sensei.
ここは購買部ね。冒険で役立つ道具を揃えたいときはここ。やばい道具で呪われた時なんかはここで解除することができるから覚えておいた方がいいかもね。
あら、お買い物かしら？
あ、トレネッテさん、ナイスタイミング。
Trenet looks less problematic than Yaomin, also less colorful.
こちらはトレネッテさん。購買部の経営と学生寮の寮母さんをされてるの。
Okay, so she's not the thievery teacher, she's the dorm mother. That would make sense then.
あら、新しい生徒さんね。トレネッテです。よろしくお願いしますね。
うちの学園全寮制だからこれからたびたびお世話になる人よ。
Her eyes look oddly soulless somehow, like she's traumatized by something.
一部の生徒からはお母さんって呼ばれてるんだよね。
That seems like it's going a little far. I'll just call her Miss Trenet.
そうなのよ。まだ結婚もしてないのに困っちゃう。って違うのよ。結婚願望は意外と高いの。好きな人もいるんだけど。
I'm not sure we need to know all that, Miss Trenet, but thanks for sharing.
私たら何って恥ずかしい。
ちょっと天然入ってる人だけどすごくいい人よ。じゃ
I
あ
get
次は保健室ね。
that impression.
ガレノス先生、 連れてきましたよ。
キシシ、ようこそ私の保健室へ。
You look at least as emproblemed as Doc's, which is an impressive feat.
あ、こちらはガレノス先生。うちの学園の保健の先生よ。
キシシ、皆さんなかなか息の良さそうな面構えで大変結構。
One thing that cracks me up about Japanese voice acting is when they very literally pronounce the onomatopoeia for weird laughter, like gishishi or whatever this guy is doing. It's so ridiculous sounding.
これなら素晴らしい実験材料。もとい、素晴らしい冒険者になってくれそうですね。キシシシ。
Stuff like this, by the way, is why I don't agree with people who think Japanese voice acting is inherently superior to English voice acting. Good voice acting is good voice acting, and bad voice acting is bad voice acting, regardless of the language. And I may enrage some people with this statement, but as someone who actually understands Japanese somewhat well, and can tell that some Japanese voice acting is definitely better than others, that I suspect a lot of people who just think all Japanese voice acting is the best, and all English voice acting is the worst, only think that because it's in a language they don't understand, so they can't really evaluate the quality of the voice acting properly. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox about that and be done making controversial statements.
先生、腕は確かなんだけど、風貌と言動が怪しすぎるのよね。
Yes, I agree.
冒険で傷ついたら私の保健室に来るといいでしょう。
Please stop with that ridiculous laugh, Galenus
それ
sensei.
相応の対価は支払ってもらいますが、見合った治療はしてあげますよ。
I do not trust you. Please stop that.
じゃあ次は実験室ね。ここが実験室よ。道具を分解したり逆にくっつけたりする錬金をすることができるわ。冒険を進めていけばいくほど錬金は重要になってくるから、早めに仕組みを覚えておくことね。
ちょっとホリーぶったら、私の実験室なんだから、まずは私を紹介しなさいよ。
So there's this character. I don't think I need to really say much of anything about him. I think he pretty much speaks for himself.
皆さん、はじめまして。私はジョルジオ、プリティ魔術教師をやってます。
I may skip over this particular voice acting that is grating on my ears.
実はね、私、こう見えて、
は
錬金だけと言わずに、美容と健康。
は
あはは、じゃあまあそういうことで。念のため言うけど、ジョルジオ先生
I noticed.
男だからね。一応ね。
It's not hard to tell, Olive. Thank you.
今回った場所以外にも校庭や屋上、体育館に剣術道場、いろいろあるけど、まあここで暮らしてたらきっとすぐに慣れて覚えるよ。それより私と同じクラスになった以上、これだけは気をつけてほしいってことがあるんだけど。
That is the evil Ojo-sama laugh.
噂をすれば、
どこのボロ雑巾が歩いてるかと思いきや、久しぶりね、オリーブ。
ジェラート。
あなたの隣のクラスになれるだなんて、なんて運がいいのかしら。これで今度こそあなたに私の方が優れているという事実を叩きつけることができるんですもの。今日のところは顔見せってことでこの辺にしておいてあげるけど、次は遠慮なく挑ませてもらうから、そのつもりで。
Aha.
今のがさっき話そうとした注意事項、ジェラートね。あの子と私は地元が一緒でさ、お金持ちでお嬢様タイプのジェラートとわんぱく姉御肌の私とじゃ相性は最悪で。
That's an amusing way you describe yourself, Olive.
何かと衝突の絶えない仲だったのよ。顔を合わせるたびに勝った負けたの大喧嘩してたっけ。
I feel like Gelato's voice actress was overdoing it a little. I see what she was going for, but she really just dialed it up to 11.
まさか同じ学園で、しかも隣のクラスだなんて。ああ、もう運命って時に残酷よ。
Of course, dialing it up to 11 just kind of summarizes a lot of Japanese voice acting in general.
いい？隣のクラス、パーネ先生のとこのジェラートには絶対に関わらないよう気をつけてね。
You do seem easier to get along with, Olive.
はあ、なんだか疲れちゃった。そろそろ図書室に戻ろっと。
So, that's the cast of characters here at Crostini Academy. Possibly even more emproblemed than the Particus crew, and that is an impressive accomplishment. It does still seem a little loud. I feel like I'm having to shout over it a bit. I'm gonna tone it down just a little. There, let's try that and see if that's a reasonable volume. Okay, so let's make another save, having gone through that cutscene. And let's just check in with everybody. Oh, so in the first game, even when you didn't have a quest, you could hit report and just have a chat with the people there. I'm not sure if that's a thing here. Maybe we can't just talk to the various faculty members if we don't have a quest. Okay, so speaking of quests, there's quite a lot of them here. Well, let's go ahead and take them all. I don't think there's any limit on the number of quests you could take, so...
ヒーローに憧れてね。このクエストの依頼主はコッパだね。あいつのことだし、なんかずるいこと考えてそうな気がするな。地元が同じだからいろいろ知ってんだけど、コッパって何かとダメダメなんだよね。
What does that mean?
隣のクラスのティラミスがいなけりゃ、この学園にも入学できてたかどうか。まあ、とりあえずコッパは教室にいると思うから、直接本人から話を聞いてみてね。
OK。
それじゃあ頑張ってね。
それじゃあ頑張ってね。
オリーブから話は聞いてるよ。お前たちがオイラの手伝いをしてくれるんだってな。
Apparently.
でも、お前たちで大丈夫かな。
I mean, I'm not going to be too offended by that. We are a bunch of level 1 scrubs.
オイラこの世界のどこかに売ってる筋肉増強剤 J を探してるんだ。オイラヒーローに憧れててさ、将来の夢はヒーロー冒険者になることなんだよな。
Maybe you don't need muscle enhancer for that, Copa.
冒険者の危機を救い、世界の平和を守るため、悪と戦う孤独なヒーロー。かっこいい。でもオイラ体力に自信がないのがたまに傷だけど、筋肉増強剤 J って薬を飲めば驚くくらいムキムキになって誰よりも強くなれるはずなんだ。悪い話じゃないと思うんだよな。オイラがヒーローになったらお前たちが危なくなっても助けてやることができるしさ。だから筋肉増強剤 J を持ってきてくれよな。頼んだぜ。
Okay, because we're completionists, so no matter how dumb the quest, we'll do it. Let's just grab them all while we're here. It is so weird playing this game with voice acting. I am positive it did not have it when it was first released. Sword of Bacchus the Smith. Save Ruote. Went to search for Yamata no Tokage and hasn't come back yet. Didn't take them long to get into trouble, did it?
鍛冶職人バッカスの件ね。これはロッシ先生からの依頼よ。ロッシ先生は知ってる？ちょっと喋り方がおかしくて、いぶし銀な感じの人だけど。
Oh, I remember this guy. He's like super Eastern flavored, like super samurai.
優しいし面白いし、どっかの先生とは大違いのとっても素敵な先生よ。
Do you have a crush, Olive?
で、今回の依頼の内容はというと、なんでもルオーテが迷宮に入ったきり帰ってこないみたいなの。で、心配になったロッシ先生が依頼を出したの。
Seriously, it took 0 days for your friends to get into weird troubles, Olive.
ロッシ先生なら校舎裏の剣術道場にいるはずだから、詳しい事情はロッシ先生から直接聞いてみてね。それじゃあよろ
Okay.
しくね。
おめえらうちの道場になんか用かい？
なんだそうかい。おめえらがあっしの依頼をね。話はオリーブから聞いてるぜ。あっしがこの剣術道場で師範代を務めるロッシだ。よろしく頼むぜ。
Okay.
早速依頼の話なんだが、ルオーテのやつよ。あっしの忠告も聞かねえで、たったの一人ではじめの森の木漏れ日に漂う気配ってとこに住むヤマタのトカゲを倒しに行ったんだ。なんでもその化け物の腹の中には伝説の鍛冶職人と呼ばれたバッカスの剣があるって話でよ。だがヤマタのトカゲの牙には微弱ながらも毒があってな。もし噛みつかれちまうとあいつに限って大丈夫とは思うんだが、念には念をな。そんじゃよろしく頼んだぜ。
Okay. Bye, Rosie. Next. Certainly takes longer to get through the cutscenes, but I usually don't want to skip through the dialogue. Some of it grates a little. And for those, I might skip through it a bit, but for most of them, I do kind of want to hear the voice acting. Alright, a surprise for a teacher. Help me with a little plot to save our fun school. Are we going to try to beat up Dante? Because that's just going to end badly. Olive, what are you thinking?
先生に一泡吹かせたいね。
ふふふ。そうかそうか。君たちもそう思うのね。
学園生活の危機、その元凶である担任のダンテ先生をギャフンと言わせるってな計画よ。
Olive, this is very ill-conceived.
もちろんこれは私からの依頼よ。同時にクラスメートからの賛同もある立派な作戦よ。作戦の内容はこう。まずダンテ先生に剣術を教えてほしいとみんなでお願いするの。それで先生の実力が見たいって剣を構える。いくら先生といえどもみんなでかかれば。
I don't think you're right, Olive.
そしてフルボッコにされた先生は生徒に恐怖心を覚えおとなしくなるって寸法よ。
This is a terrible plan.
すでに体育館に先生を呼び出しているから君たちもすぐに来てね。
遅かったじゃねえか。他の奴らはみんな伸びちまったぜ。教師をなめんなよ。
I didn't, Dante. This was Olive. This was all Olive. Okay, I think our first battle is going to be an auto loss, or an unwinnable fight, because our opponent is a level 99 Mr. Dante. Have Aqua in the face. My other characters can't do anything yet because they don't have spells, and they need ranged weapons that they don't start with, just like the first game. I guess not true for Sherry. She can breathe on him. Eye lasers. He shot eye lasers that did 9999 damage and hit 49 times, by the way. That was quite the scream, Candy. Oh, we did a point of damage. I wonder why it doesn't capitalize the first letter of the battle statements. It doesn't really matter. I'm just curious about it. Try fire. Go ahead and attack him. Poor Aisha. Brutal. This was the predictable outcome. Who thought it was going to end any other way? Once again, that was quite a scream. The party was destroyed. Not really. Looks like some of you are pretty tough. I actually like Dante. For exactly this reason. Everyone's like, oh no, he's such a drill sergeant. We are literally at a school that is teaching us to go into deadly monster and trap-filled labyrinths that can kill us at any moment. I want an instructor like this, if that is my job.
たちだけなかなか起きてこないんだもん。もう少しでガレノス先生を呼ぶとこだったよ。
Oh, thank goodness we woke up then.
乾杯だね。
Yes.
甘かったな。今の私たちじゃ全然先生にはかなわないや。でもさ、私の目標が決まったよ。いつかダンテ先生に勝つ。
Good luck, Olive.
一生懸命勉強して力をつけて、いつか必ずみんなも頑張ろう。
Gambatte ne. It felt as though their feelings were one. Okay, this video's getting a little long in the tooth, but let's at least get every quest that's currently available. Alright, there's still 3 more, good grief. Like I said, it's taking longer because of all the voice acting. It takes a lot longer to go through the cutscenes, but... Well, as I said, I don't want to just skip through all the voice lines.
校長先生のお使いね。これはそのまんまバシュラン校長からの依頼だよ。そういえば校長先生って年いくつなんだろう。
I mean, I don't know, he looks
謎だわ。
about 60?
校長先生は職員室にいるはずよ。職員室で直接先生から話を聞いてみてね。
I mean, that would be my guess, but with this cutesy anime art style, it's not always easy to tell.
お使いだから簡単な依頼だと思うけど、頑張ってね。
Okay. Please buy me a certain item. Newbies welcome. How friendly sounding.
来たようじゃな。ところでこの学園にはもう慣れたかの？
Yeah, I guess so.
そうかそうか。それは何よりじゃな。では本題に入るとするかの。はじめの森を抜けたところにあるジェラートタウンに行き、創世連母というお酒を買ってきてほしいのじゃ。
You just want us to get you alcohol. I thought you were more responsible than this, Vashrin.
もちろんおだちんをやるぞい。ほれ、1000ゴールドじゃ。
Oh, thanks.
校長先生、生徒たちに何の話をしているのですか？
Is she about to scold him for making students go buy him alcohol? Thank you, Gnome Girl.
おっと、紹介がまだじゃったの。もう知っておるかもしれんが、こちらは我が学園の教頭先生、ベーゼ先生じゃ。
Veze. She's not going to have us fight a monster, sit there and watch us one-shot it in all its ads, and then tell us we're not good enough, is she?
皆さん、よろしくお願いしますね。校長先生、ごまかさないでくれます？
いやいや、大したことではないって。じゃあ、よろしく頼んだぞい。
You're pretty irresponsible, Principal Vashrin. You remind me of a certain divinity teacher from the first game, although probably not as bad as him. Because it's almost impossible to be as bad as him. Okay, 2 to go. Oh no. Oh no. These two. Okay.
ガレノス先生の注射針ね。この依頼はガレノス先生からの依頼だよ。ガレノス先生ってああ見えて意外と苦労人なんだよね。聖術教師なのに外見がまんま邪悪だからさ、怖がって生徒は寄りつかないし、一方では生徒を実験台にして怪しげな薬を作ってるなんて噂も立っちゃうし。
That's pretty messed
本
up.
当は優しいいい先生なのよ。先生は保健室にいるから力になってあげて。
Is he gonna do that bizarre laugh again?
それじゃあよろしくね。
ようこそ私の保健室へ。オリーブから聞きましたよ。何でも君たちが私の依頼を受けてくれたそうですね。見た通りこれは何の変哲もない注射器です。しかし注射器に使用している注射針、この針に関しては非常に貴重な特注品でしてね。
You don't say.
私でも作れるものなのですが、今まで面倒くさくて業者に頼んでいたのですよ。しかしここのところ原料が品不足でしてね、業者が注射針の製造をストップしてしまったのですよ。 人間相手なら普通の針でもいいのでしょうが、肌の硬いバハムーンやディアボロス相手に普通の針では力不足ですから、案外緊急事態なのですよ。そこで依頼の内容なのですが、鋭い針を取ってきてもらいたいのです。それが注射針の素材。この際手間を惜しまず私が作るとしましょう。どうも私、気持ちよくプスッと針をさせないとなんだか不安でね。
Do you have to say it like that, Galenus? Do you have to say it like that? Words, Galenus. And then the laugh.
鋭い針はいろんなモンスターが落としますからね。数は多ければ多い方がいいですよ。それ
Oh man, what do you even say to that? And now the most disturbing for last. Oh my goodness, Giorgio.
ビューティーマッチョね。このクエスト、誰の依頼かは言わなくてもわかるよね。
Yeah.
そう、ジョルジオ先生の依頼だよ。そういや知ってた？ジョルジオ先生って案外生徒から人気があるのよね。
Really?
女子からは美容やファッション、男子からは肉体改造のことなんかよく相談されてるみたい。本人の見た目はああだけど、アドバイスは的確みたいだから、君たちもなんか聞いてみたら？
That voice acting, though.
ジョルジオ先生は実験室にいるはずよ。じゃ、頑張ってね。
Okay. Okay, that's fine. We'll just go through this. It's so much more awkward with the voice acting, and it was pretty awkward to begin with.
あらやだ、ちゃんとノックぐらいしなさい。ところで今日は何の用？やだもうそんなのね、そういうわけにはいかないわ。今回の私の依頼、モンスターの力とある成分をお肌がとってもプルン。
No, we're not going. Yes, exactly. Good response, students.
もうわかじゃあ早速モンスターのあ、そうそう、もちろん毎回俺たくさん持ってきてくれた。
That makes my ears bleed. Okay, monster blood. Bring monster blood. Understood. Oh, sometimes being a completionist is painful. Okay, I think we have every quest now. Okay, so this episode was basically all character creation and then taking the introductory quests and learning that this game has voice acting, some of which is pretty enjoyable, some of which is pretty questionable. But hey, that's interesting. Next time, I think we're actually going to enter the labyrinth and get into the heart of the gameplay. Hope you're looking forward to that, because I am. I'll see you then.